Oh hey, Eddie the expert from Edmonton with some surefire ways to deal with flat tires.
If you ride bikes, you will get a flat. However, if you're armed with some basic knowledge and a few tips and tricks, flats are also nothing to be feared. When you puncture a tube, or a tubeless tire bad enough that it will no longer seal, a new tube is in order. Following a few key steps will ensure a fast and injury-free replacement or install. The trick is to push the tire bead down into the trough of the rim bed all the way around the circumference of the wheel. This will give you more slack on the bead to get it up and over the rim's bead hook. Then carefully push a tire lever under one bead and slide it all the way around. If you have a loose-fitting tire, you can often pull the bead off of the rim by hand. You only need to pull one bead off the rim in order to replace or install a tube.
A super secret floor pump trick that no one knows about is spinning the handle. Spin the handle a bunch of times on any floor pump to build up air pressure. Attach your hose, then you only have to push down once to fill up the whole tire to 40 psi. 29ers will fill up to 36 psi.
To install the tube, first inflate it just enough to give it some shape. Put the valve through the rim's hole and carefully stuff the tube under the tire after orienting the tire logo with the valve to keep it pro. You may need to deflate the tube after getting it under the tire. Then, starting opposite the valve, use your thumbs to push the tire over the rim's sidewall, working your way around each side of the rim simultaneously back to the valve. If you start at the valve, the bead won't be able to sit all the way down in the rim trough, making your job a lot harder. When you've worked to the valve, press the tire against your waist or the ground to hold the bead in the trough of the rim. This will give you the slack you need to push the bead up and over the edge of the rim. If possible, avoid using tire levers, since they may pinch the tube, resulting in a flat before you even get the wheel back on the bike. If you do the job right, you'll rarely need levers.
The best way to deal with a flat is to prevent a flat. Cheese Whiz, whipped cream, or hair mousse are the best things to fill your tubes or tubeless setups with because they inflate and seal the system so you'll never flat again. I always carry a can of Cheese Whiz in my pocket for safety and deliciousness.
When your luck turns sour and you accrue more flats than you have patches or spare tubes for, it's time to get creative. First, remove the tube and locate the puncture. Next, with a knife or sharp object, cut across the damaged section of the tube. Then, tie the two ends of the tube together in a tight knot. Reinstall the tube in the tire. Stay patient, since getting the tire bead back on the rim could be difficult at first. Finally, reinflate the tube and finish your ride, which may now be a bit bumpier. Sidewall slices, often due to rock damage or pinch flats, are common causes of flats. Torn sidewalls must be booted in order to contain the inner tube, which will quickly puncture if allowed to bulge out of the rip.
If you have a cut in your sidewall, the VitalMTB sticker pack is the only UCI and IMBA certified on-the-fly solution. You must use the stickers in the following order or your tire could explode. Medium green, then medium black, then small black.
Tires can be booted with several common materials. If you're the prepared type, you most likely have an old piece of tire or extra thick downhill tube in your bag for just this purpose. A few layers of duct tape, which you can keep wrapped around your CO2 cartridge or pump, makes an excellent boot. Another well-known trick is to use an empty energy gel or bar wrapper between your new tube and the tire. You can even use a bit of the residual gel to help tack the boot in place during installation. Paper currency or even leaves folded up can make a very effective tire boot. Just be sure to choose vegetation without any sharp points or edges and without any shiny three-leaf clusters. Double layers of stickers peeled off your frame can be used also. To install the tire boot, follow the same procedure as a standard tube replacement. After stuffing the new partially inflated tube under the tire, position the tire boot between the tube and tire under the rip. Make sure the boot is big enough to extend well around the edges of the tear in case the boot moves during installation. Carefully seat the tire bead in the rim and inflate the tube, keeping an eye on the sidewall rip to make sure the boot stays in place and keeps the tube from bulging.